All right, I'm just in the garage. Gonna get myself a putty pad, and we're gonna go check to see exactly how good these things work. I have my sound meter already downstairs, and I have an electrical outlet that I'm going to wrap this around. You see, a lot of people, they'll soundproof a wall, add drywall, add insulation, but you sometimes forget to actually soundproof the electrical outlet, because behind those electrical boxes there are holes, and if you can get to that box, then you should cover those holes because they will let noise in and you'll be able to hear. But I'll also show you on the decibel meter exactly how much noise will come through this electrical outlet. If you cannot, if you can't get, let's see, if you can't get behind the electrical outlet, that's fine. It's not gonna work as well, but there is still something that you can do with the putty pad that will help stop noise from coming through, because what's the point of soundproofing the entire wall if you still have noise easily coming through? And this is a cheap, easy fix. You can get one putty pad for about $7-8, or you can get a whole pack of 10, I think, for around $70. So it is well worth it to add that to your soundproofing budget. But first, before we start, we should go and turn off the breaker, just to be safe, because you will be middling behind an electrical outlet. So, which one is it? This one. All right, so now that that's done, safety first. I always usually forget. All you'll need to do is remove the faceplate, and you can see that you can basically see right through. There are holes in the electrical outlet box. Yeah, don't mind the mess in there. Right there. And you can see light shining through. And you can see a gap right there also. So what I'll do, I'll play some music in that room before installing the putty pad. Now, putty pads were meant to wrap around electrical outlet boxes. Basically, it's to prevent fire, the spread of a fire if something happens inside, if there's a short inside the electrical outlet box. But it also works very good at blocking noise because, as I said, there's holes in there. You soundproof the wall, noise is going to go through, easy fix, if you can get to the electrical outlet box. All right, now I have some royalty-free music playing, as you can see, just so you know the test. It is at full blast, and I will put also the computer at full blast. So it is pretty loud, so we'll be able to hear pretty well. All right, so now for the bass line. First test, I didn't have the faceplate on, so might as well put it back on to get a more realistic test. All right, so that gives you an idea of how much noise is coming through on the decibel meter. Let's add this putty pad to see if it actually blocks enough noise. Let's check it out. All right, let's turn that off. I'll try to squeeze in so you can see me putting the putty pad on. So what this will do, you can just wrap it around, and you can basically use 2 of these putty pads. You can put it on and then cut it, and then at least you'll have another one to use for another electrical outlet. Also, as I am installing this, I've had some people asking me if I do any consulting work. Well, what I've done, I've added memberships to my channel. So there's 3 tiers. There's one tier where it's basically just, ask me a question, a simple question, and I'll easily answer, and I'll make sure that you are priority over, non-members, of course. And then there's a second tier where I'll actually look at your soundproofing project. You send me the details, and I'll do my research, and I'll write a detailed plan for you, and also tell you if you're using the right material. And then the third tier, it's similar to the second tier, but I'll send you a video response, personalized video response, and that should help you with your soundproofing project. So if that's something that interests you, or if you just want to have the first tier to just support my channel, I would really appreciate that. And I'm looking forward to helping each and every one of you. Now look at that. Let's see if that blocks some noise. Now this drywall is only 1/2 inch drywall. if you were going to soundproof the wall, I would recommend putting a 5/8 inch drywall, a little bit thicker, and it's not that much more expensive. So I suspect that it will make a difference of 1.5 decibels. Let's see if I'm right. I can't remember what the results were from the last test because I didn't write anything down, so I guess I'll find out in the edit. So as you could see, 1 to 1.5 decibel decrease, which makes quite a difference when, even though it doesn't sound like much, it makes a difference. When you're spending a lot of money to soundproof the wall, you want to cover all those holes. Now, if you can't get behind the wall, if the wall is finished and you can't get to the electrical outlet box, then you're probably wondering, what am I going to do? I can't add the putty pads like you just did. One thing that you can do that, you can see the red right there. I think you have an idea where I'm going with this. You won't need as many putty pads, but you can put it directly behind the faceplate. We're gonna put that back in, and we might as well make another test, because if you can get the putty pad around the electrical box, it's not a bad idea to also put some putty pad behind the electrical outlet face cover. I didn't do a great job getting that red out, but all you need to do is basically take your screwdriver, a little X-Acto knife, and just scrape that off. But yeah, make sure there's no power there because you might accidentally and kaboom. We don't want that. All right, we'll turn the music back on, see if that makes a little bit of a difference. Let's find out. I really don't like that music, but it's royalty free, so my video won't get flagged. In our test, it didn't really make much of a difference because the holes were already covered with the putty pads in behind. But if you have quite a gap around the electrical outlet box, this would help, especially if on the adjacent wall you have another electrical outlet. Do this on both. It's easy, it's cheap, and you might get at least 1 to 2 decibel difference. It's worth a try, especially if you are renting and you can't make any modifications whatsoever. I'll have links in the description of putty pads and other soundproofing products that helps you soundproof the wall. If you are looking to soundproof the wall and you want a lot more details, but you still want to keep it on a budget, the video right there will show you how to do it on or hopefully under budget. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time, assuming that you subscribed.